The rain hammered against the windows of the small cafe, turning the parking lot into a shimmering gray puddle. Anna, an exhausted waitress, wiped down the last table, her frail arms aching after a long shift. The clock indicated the imminent closing time. She slipped on her raincoat when a metallic crash tore through the sound of the storm. Another impact, then a screech of metal on asphalt. Instinctively, Anna rushed outside, the rain soaking her hair within seconds. Her sneakers slipped on the wet sidewalk as she turned the corner. There, she saw him, a man lying on the road, blood pooling beneath his head, his limbs twisted at unnatural angles. A few meters away, a dark sedan, its windshield shattered, was embedded. "Sir, can you hear me?" she shouted as she knelt beside him. No response. His chest barely rose, but he was alive. With trembling hands, Anna dialed 911, her voice tense. "There's been an accident. A man was hit by a car. He's unconscious, I don't know if he'll make it." Her eyes remained fixed on his face, where blood trickled from his temple. She tore her apron, rolled it up, and gently pressed it against the wound. Blood was everywhere, twisting her stomach, but she didn't look away. Sirens wailed in the distance. When the ambulance arrived, the paramedics gently moved her aside. "Did you call?" one of them asked. "Yes, he was alone," Anna replied, wiping her hands on her soaked pants. The paramedics stabilized the man, male, late 30s, severe trauma, significant blood loss, no ID, no family on site. "Do you know him?" another asked. "No, but I'm coming with you," Anna insisted. After a moment's hesitation, a paramedic nodded. "Get in." Inside the ambulance, Anna clung to the railing of the stretcher, the chaos of machines and medical orders surrounding her. A paramedic swore, "He's O negative, a rare type, and the local blood banks are dry." Anna, taken aback, whispered, "I'm O negative." In the ambulance, Anna gripped the metal railing, her gaze fixed on the unconscious man. The paramedics exchanged medical terms, machines beeped, and the smell of blood filled the air. "If he loses more blood without a compatible donor, we risk losing him," explained one paramedic. Anna, her heart racing, repeated, "I'm O negative." The two paramedics stared at her. "Are you sure?" one asked. "Yes, I donated once, years ago." They exchanged a glance. "Do you weigh at least 50 kilos? Anna bit her lip, hesitant, "Not quite." "Then we can't," replied the paramedic. "I don't care, I'll take the risk," she shouted. "Sign whatever you want, but do it." They frowned, invoking regulations, but Anna insisted, her voice breaking, "I saw someone die because I did nothing. I won't let that happen again." A painful memory resurfaced, her best friend, Liam, who died in an accident at 18 because she was afraid to donate blood. "Please, I don't want him to die." After a silence, one paramedic relented, "We'll talk to the ER doctor, but we'll need a signed consent and a quick test." At the hospital, the chaos of the emergency room engulfed Anna. Soaked, she followed the stretcher, whispering to the man, "You're not alone, you're going to make it." At the entrance of the ER, the doors opened to blinding lights, nurses shouting orders. Anna, shivering, sat on a bench, a form in her trembling hands. A doctor appeared, his expression tense. "You're O negative?" She nodded. "You're compatible, but you weigh 44 kilos, that's below the minimum." Anna protested, "I don't care about the rules. Take what you can." The doctor sighed, "You risk fainting or worse." Tears welled up, "I let someone die once. Not this time." She recounted Liam, her fear, her regret. The doctor, moved, accepted a partial draw under supervision. Anna signed the form, her hand trembling but resolute, ready to give her blood for a stranger. In a sterile emergency room, Anna lay on a stretcher, a tourniquet around her arm. The smell of antiseptic stung her nostrils, but she did not flinch as the needle pierced her skin. Images of Liam, his laughter under a summer sky, the hospital corridor where she had fled, her mother's heart-wrenching call, flashed through her mind. A tear fell, but she remained still as her blood filled the bag. The nurse, gentle, whispered, "You're doing well, we're halfway there." Anna nodded, her breath short. When it was over, they helped her lie down, her head spinning. Yet, a strange peace washed over her. Her blood was already being sent to the trauma room. 10 minutes later, the doctor returned, his face softened. "He is stable. Your donation made a difference." Anna closed her eyes, overwhelmed by relief. She did not know the man's name, nor his story, but she had rewritten her own. This time, she had not fled. Exhausted, she remained on the bench, the white walls and chaos of the hospital fading around her. She thought of Liam, of the guilt she had carried for years. That night, she had acted, not to erase the past, but to mend it in her own way. Meanwhile, in the trauma room, the man was still fighting, but his heart was beating stronger thanks to her. Anna, soaked and shivering, had never felt such inner warmth. She did not need to know his name to know she had done what was right. Her gesture, impulsive and brave, had broken a chain of regrets. As the nurses bustled about, Anna almost fell asleep, cradled by the certainty that she had given more than just a little blood, she had given a chance, to him and to herself, to continue living. Michael Sterling opened his eyes to a white ceiling, a fan slowly spinning above him. The smell of antiseptic and a steady beep filled the room. A sharp pain pierced his ribs, a heavy weight in his chest. A blurry memory emerged, a soft yet urgent female voice, a hand gripping his in an ambulance under the rain. "She was there," he murmured. A nurse looked up. "Mr. Sterling, you're awake. You've been unconscious for 3 days, internal bleeding, fractured collarbone, 2 broken ribs. You're lucky to be alive." Michael barely heard her. "Where is she? The girl from the ambulance?" The nurse hesitated. "I'll check with the paramedics." A few hours later, his assistant, James, arrived, dark tie and a dry tone. "Thank God you're awake. Increased security, press kept away." Michael brushed aside his words. "Find her. The girl who saved me." James blinked. "We're investigating the accident. No ID on you, just a destroyed phone. A civilian found you and accompanied you, but she left without giving her name." Michael frowned. "Check the hospital cameras, the ambulance, the ER entrance." He added, more softly, "She had brown hair, was petite, she looked at me as if I were just a man, not a billionaire." James nodded solemnly. A team was dispatched to analyze the footage and interview the paramedics. Lying there, Michael felt pains he hadn't known possible, but another, deeper pain haunted him. Years earlier, his brother Evan had died in an accident, abandoned by passers-by. No one had stopped. Since then, Michael had built walls, business, security, wealth, but nothing had filled the void. This woman, she had stopped. She had gotten into the ambulance. She had stayed. "Find her," he whispered, not out of obligation, but because something within him had changed. The bell above the cafe door chimed softly as Michael entered, dressed in a pristine charcoal suit, a bouquet of white lilies in one hand, an envelope tucked under his arm. The scent of cinnamon and aged wood filled the air, mingling with the hissing of espresso machines. Anna, wiping down a table near the window, froze upon seeing him. "You're Anna, aren't you?" he asked gently. She nodded, wary. You're the ambulance man." Michael approached cautiously. "I took a while to find you." He extended the flowers, "To thank you." Anna took them hesitantly, glancing at the envelope. "Why?" "Because you saved me," he replied sincerely. "I did what anyone should have done," she said, straightening up. He offered her the envelope, but she stepped back. "No." Surprised, he insisted, "It's just a gesture." "I didn't give my blood for a reward," she cut in firmly. "A life doesn't start by putting a price on kindness." Michael, used to multi-million contracts and monetized gratitude, felt disarmed. "I just wanted to show my appreciation," he murmured. "You're alive." "That's enough," Anna replied, her gaze unwavering. She returned to her work, leaving Michael alone, the flowers accepted, the envelope rejected. He slipped the latter into his jacket, untouched. As he left the cafe, Michael felt a rare emotion, admiration, not for wealth or power, but for a woman who wanted neither. This refusal, simple yet profound, shook something within him. Anna hadn't acted for glory or money, but because her heart had left her no other choice. Michael, a billionaire accustomed to controlling everything, had just met someone who lived by rules he didn't yet understand but wanted to learn about. Michael became a regular at the cafe. At first, it was just a black coffee, no sugar, taken in a corner, away from the crowd. Sometimes he would open his laptop, other times, he would leave it closed, his gaze drifting towards Anna. She, with her tired smile and graceful gestures, seemed to anchor the space. He no longer brought flowers or mentioned the envelope. Instead, they began to talk. At first, about trivial things, the weather, the morning rush, the temperamental espresso machine. Then one day, Michael asked, "Why this cafe?" Anna, wiping her hands on a dish towel, shrugged, "It's a job. After my mother's illness, I had to give up my studies to become a teacher. Bills don't wait for dreams." She added, her eyes shining, "I work here in the morning, at a bookstore in the afternoon, and in the evening, I help my little brother with his medical school applications. He will be a great doctor one day." Michael listened, captivated. "You sacrificed your dream for his." She smiled faintly, "That's what family does, right?" Michael remained silent, then murmured, "I had a brother, younger. He died in a car accident. No one stopped to help him." Anna softened, "I'm sorry." "He was all I had," he added, his voice low. "Since then, I've stopped believing in people." Anna tilted her head, "And yet, you're here." Something passed between them, a silent understanding. "Your kindness made me feel something again," he confessed. That night, Michael couldn't sleep. Walking in the rain, he found himself in front of the cafe, closed, the doorbell, Anna's mother's, lying on the ground, broken. He picked it up, awkwardly repaired it with tape, and left a note, "That sound kept me from losing my way." The next day, Anna, discovering the gesture, touched the bell with reverence, moved by this discreet act. In the following days, their conversations deepened. Anna spoke of her mother, of her laughter that filled the kitchen, of the cancer that had stolen her voice before her life. Michael listened, sharing little about his wealth or his business. He wanted her to see him as a man, not a billionaire. Between empty coffee cups and shared stories, something changed. One evening, on the steps behind the cafe, Anna and Michael sat under a violet and orange sky. "I think about what you did," he said. "You saved me, not just with your blood." Anna looked down, "I didn't do anything extraordinary." "Yes," he insisted, his voice hoarse. "I spent years building, fixing systems, solving problems. But I never fixed myself. And you, a stranger in a cafe, you did it." Anna blushed, "Maybe we saved each other." Michael gently placed his hand over hers. "I never imagined that a drop of blood could bring someone back to life, literally and otherwise." The silence that followed was heavy with meaning, a moment where words became unnecessary. Their bond, born in the urgency of a rainy night, grew in the simplicity of shared moments. Michael, once isolated behind his fortune, discovered a warmth that no wealth could buy. Anna, marked by regret, found new meaning in this unexpected connection. Each conversation, each glance, wove a deeper connection, not just between a billionaire and a waitress, but between two souls who had found refuge in each other. It was not just a story of blood given, but of hearts opening, hopes rekindled, and a silent promise to never flee from life again. One evening, as the sun was setting, casting shadows over the cafe, Michael, restless yet determined, approached Anna, who was wiping the counter. Anna, he began, his voice softer than usual, I want to ask you something, not as the man you saved, nor as a customer, but as someone who believes you carry something the world needs. Anna raised an eyebrow, half amused, half skeptical. That sounds serious. He nodded. I want to create a non-profit organization, a network of hospitals, donors, and volunteers to help people with rare blood types. I would call it LifeChain. Anna froze her cloth. I can fund, organize, find partners, he continued, but I need someone who understands its heart, someone who knows what giving means without expecting a reward. Anna crossed her arms. You want me to help you manage this? No, I want you to build it with me. She stared at him. You're a billionaire, Michael. You live in penthouses, you have chauffeurs, suits that cost more than my rent. What do you know about sacrifice? Michael swallowed hard, his gaze steady. I know what it's like to have everything and lose the only person who mattered. My brother died because no one stopped. I've lived with that silence. Anna, touched, looked down. This isn't a PR project, he assured. Just people helping people. After a long silence, she nodded, okay, but on my terms, no interviews, no galas, no transactions. Michael smiled, extending his hand, deal. Thus began LifeChain, a project where Anna brought her heart and Michael his energy, united by a shared vision to save lives without seeking glory. The following weeks were intense. Anna, who had never seen the inside of a meeting room, found herself facing hospital directors and emergency experts. Michael always let her speak first, supporting her ideas. LifeChain was taking shape, a network tracing donors by blood type and location, alerting in real time when needed. Volunteers were trained, hospitals equipped, protocols simplified, and everything was free, no insurance or bills. Anna woke up early, stayed up late, fueled by a new energy. Michael, on the other hand, seemed more alive, not because of his wealth, but because of a purpose that couldn't be bought. During a meeting under a bridge where a LifeChain mobile unit was being prepared, Anna asked, do you ever think about what could have changed if someone had stopped for your brother? Michael, his eyes filled with sadness, replied, every day. She briefly touched his hand, now, someone will. Their bond deepened, carried by simple moments, a shared jasmine tea, an exchanged smile. One day, Anna stumbled upon a stack of jasmine tea boxes in Michael's office, one bearing a handwritten note, drink to remind me why I woke up. Her breath caught. During a visit to a rural clinic, a little girl collapsed from anemia. Anna, by her side, held her hand, whispering soothing words, while Michael coordinated with the hospital. When the girl was stabilized, he joined Anna outside. You did it again. She protested, we did it together. But he insisted, no, it's you. This girl will live because of your calm, your faith in something that can't be bought. Anna, moved, said nothing. Michael then understood that some debts could not be repaid, they had to be lived. In the Grand Hall of Chicago, under sparkling chandeliers, LifeChain's anniversary brought together doctors, donors, and families saved by drops of blood. Anna, in a simple blue dress, with a volunteer badge pinned to her lapel, stood nervously at the back. Michael stepped onto the stage, his speech captivating the room. A year ago, I was dying, disconnected from the world. A stranger refused to let me go. He recounted how Anna, despite her low weight, had donated her blood, defying the rules, and how her example had changed him. Anna Whitaker, will you join me? The crowd turned, Anna froze, then walked towards him amidst applause. Sorry for the ambush, he whispered. She laughed, you'll regret it if I faint. He took her hand and declared, she saved me, not just with her blood, but by everything she is. Then, to everyone's astonishment, he knelt down, revealing a box with a ring adorned with a sapphire. Anna, your heart is bigger than anything I've known. Will you marry me? With tears in her eyes, Anna recalled her past, the loss of Liam, her guilt. But here, facing Michael, she felt enough. She knelt too. I didn't save the one I once loved, but if tomorrow I can be your wife, I will continue to save with love. The room erupted in applause, flashes crackled. Michael slipped the ring onto her finger. Behind them, the life chain banner displayed a golden heartbeat. This was not a story of blood, but of connection, courage, a bond between two souls united not by status, but by a promise of love and second chances, lived every day for the rest of their lives.